A Massachusetts man has been toiling in his backyard on an epic passion project for 7 years, building a 38-foot wooden sailboat using boards cut down from his own property. With a possible launch now just months away, Brook Silva-Braga decided to check in on him, and he joins us now. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Dana. Well, in 2015, Steve Denette had 2 college degrees, but no real career. After a stint teaching, he was working at a climbing gym. But since childhood, he'd hung on to a nagging dream of someday building a boat from scratch and sailing it around the world. Well, on his 30th birthday, he decided to do it, cashing in his life savings and the life he knew. 7 years later, for Denette and those around him, so much has changed.
You can see what we've been building.
Wow. I mean, it looks like a boat.
It looks like a boat, yeah. And every stage of the process, that's what people say. It looks like a boat. Oh, it finally looks like a boat. Oh, now it looks like a boat.
When the process started, Steve Denette knew nothing about boat building, but making one from scratch, he estimated back then, would take him as much as 10 years.
When we first started, and I was like, I'm gonna cut down the trees and build a boat, and everyone's like, you're crazy. And it was always, what about significant other? What about kids? What about career? What about?
Yeah.
And then we would talk to people who are in their 70s, their 80s. They would go do it. You have this dream? Go do it. What are you waiting for?
Do you think it's because they couldn't do it anymore, or because why do you think the difference in the generations?
I think they understand what a lifetime is and what you actually have the time for, and what you're gonna look back on and wish you had or hadn't done.
So in January 2016, Denette,
So that guy's a white oak.
with no gray in the beard yet, started cutting trees.
How was that?
It was good.
That was good? Made a splash.
His friend Alex Creeder agreed to help and make videos.
How'd the day go today?
It went.
When it was done, they'd go sailing together. Creeder filmed as the logs became boards, and as those oak boards were steamed,
Down she goes.
until they could be bent into their new shape.
You have a matter of minutes to get them bent into the boat before they harden and become non-pliable again.
And then you just fire in are they rivets?
They're
Or what?
rivets, yep. So there are square copper rivets, and we couldn't find them big enough anymore. We made a machine to make the rivets.
The plan to fund the project was for Creeder to make these videos to drum up donations through a crowdfunding site.
So the first keel bolt is in. And yesterday we bolted up the stem here.
But for a long time, the money didn't come. For 2 years, Denette and Creeder had to keep their day jobs and scrounge for supplies.
For the lead, we needed 12,000 pounds total.
Where do you find 12,000 pounds of lead?
You hunt for a year and a half.
And where do you go hunting for lead?
And I literally would ask every single person that I had a conversation with, do you know where I can get some lead?
Hold on a second. If you ask 100 people that question, how many have a positive answer for you?
1 or 2. But sometimes you strike gold.
Or lead.
I talked to a woman and her daughter, and they're like, actually, yeah, my husband has a tire shop. So we went and picked up 2,000 pounds of wheel weights.
Figuring out how to pour our own keel has been a trying part of this project.
The video of melting that lead and pouring it into a keel went viral on YouTube, and Acorn to Arabella caught on. Donations and YouTube ad money let Denette and Creeder quit their jobs and build full time. The attention also brought more and more help, paid and mostly unpaid. People like Denette drawn to doing something exotic and hard for reasons they struggle to fully explain. KP Polella was supposed to start college, but took a job here instead.
That's it.
The confusing part is you had already tried boat building,
Well, I love boat building.
but then you left boat building
Correct.
because it didn't pay enough.
That's right.
But this pays much more than
No,
that?
no,
So that's where I'm trying to understand.
that's fair. That's fair.
It's gonna start coming down a little bit.
Okay.
9-year-old Aaron Waynes volunteers every Friday.
I'll try my hardest.
This was his first time using a disc sander.
I'm gonna mill a keyway here. Slot.
76-year-old Joe Damon arrived with 4 decades of experience on the Bridgeport machine that happened to be donated just before he came by.
How'd you find out about this?
My wife spotted it. She says, it's in Granby. I said, our Granby or Granby, Connecticut? She says, no, Granby, Mass. Went out and jumped in my truck and came over.
How long ago was this?
6 years.
Something like that.
You've been coming here for 6 years.
Yeah.
Those years haven't just transformed the wood, but the people working it. Creeder is about to be a married dad. He's already helping take care of his own father. He won't be voyaging with Denette.
Put our hearts and souls in this together for a long time, and then to have him step away is definitely hard, but you know, I think he made the right choice for sure.
But as he'd been warned, devotion to the Arabella did make it hard for Denette to find love.
All of the time building the boat, I don't think any woman was past like 2 dates before they were like, yeah, I don't see myself on a boat. Like, I'm stepping out of this one.
That is, until he met Robin Agricola, who had already been hoping to explore the world from a camper van.
I was like, yeah, you know, I want to like live this nomadic lifestyle. And he's like, I see your van and I raise you a 38-foot wooden sailboat.
If all goes as planned, they'll launch the boat in June.
It's a small, cozy home.
Though Denette won't captain it, at least at first.
Yeah.
Palella will.
I'm not a sailor. I don't come from that background.
We've skipped over this, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
Your sailing background is?
Not existent at all. Yeah, I've never sailed. I maintain the first boat I sail on will be the one I built.
I sure hope you like it. I know you've heard that, but come on, sure hope you like it.
I do too, and I think I will. And honestly, if I don't, I've learned so much building the boat. I have grown so much. I've met such amazing people and connections. And even if I hated sailing, I would not regret any of this.
A couple of weeks ago, after our visit, Steve actually stepped back from the project to spend more time with his mom, who was just diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer. He's trying to get enough help so they can still finish the boat by June, and he wants to take her for a sail.
Well, we certainly wish the best to his mom.
Yeah, what a story.
Yeah.
I mean, the community that was built around it, that has been built around it, just the idea and following your passions, the people.
And yeah. And there's so many things I want to Google. Why lead for a keel? I want to know.
Well, it needs to be heavy and dense.
And I really want to know if this boat, when they put it on the water.
I asked him, do you have nightmares about it sinking? And he said, no way, no how. I am very confident in what I've made.
It's great. Never sailed before, never built a boat before. I'm going to build a boat and sail.
Let's do it.
I'm putting my money on him. Thank you so much, Brooke.